2つ目の新しい挑
Future
戦ですね。
concept 2.
この、
Preparing
6.1 から
for years of
6.5
service
までの
come
期間、
first
まあ、7.0
graphical
リリースまでの
update.
期間を
Yes,
使
that
って
I'm
ですね、
very
まず
intrigued.
まあ、長期運営やっていく上で第一次のグラフィックスアップデートを、
I used to be a QA tester, and the visual stuff was
So
very
our
important
second
to me.
concept, and again, this is going to be the preparation that we will be doing throughout patch 6.1 through 6.5, leading up to the launch of 7.0. It is a long-term, or like preparations for long-term operation of the game, and we want to be doing this in the background, but we'll be preparing for our first graphics update.
ただ、まあ、なぜ第一次グラフィックスアップデートと言ってるかっていうと、
Maybe like
まあ
that
2時も
less
3時
people
もあ
are
るだろう
gonna
と
like
もしかしたらって
play
こ
with
となんです
mods.
けど、なぜかというともうここまで11年運営してきてるともう尋常じゃないリソース、グラフィックスアセットが存在してます。
So the reason why we named this the first graphical update, and that's of course to imply that there will probably a second and or third after this, but our game has been in operation for about 11 years, and considering all the graphical assets we have produced, it's an insane amount.
Yeah, it's a bit outdated,
極限まで
to
上
be
げようと
honest.
すると絶対コンバートミスがあったりとか、そもそもコンバートの物理時間が足りなくて、もうデザインチームが無理です絶対できませんっていう答えになってしまうので、まあやれることを一回やって引き上げたらまたその状態で安定が見えたら次のをやってっていう形で、
The graphic
まあその第1回目が来るんだというふうに思って
could be
くだ
better
さ
for
い。
sure, especially with today's.
And so if we
Technology.
attempted to update every single piece of graphical asset or resource that we've put into the game all at the same time, we might run into issues of conversion errors, or it's just physically takes a lot of time to convert everything. And consulting with the graphics team, they already know that we can't address everything all at the same time. And so what we're trying to do is address these in phases so that we can test out certain elements, see how they work, and if it seems to be stable, we move into the next phase. And so I think with our first graphical update, this will be like the first time we start testing some of these elements.
Is it gonna be like on a realm board?
めっちゃ吹いたんだけど。
Eh?
I saw a comment that says 4K grapes. Thank you so much for that. That was hilarious.
4K とかね。
We're never gonna let that go.
ポリゴンとかかけてると、それこそ940みたいにキャラクター全然表示できねえぞってことになっちゃうので、まあちょっとこれから詳しく説明はしますよ。
That's hilarious, but like imagine spending so much resources just to get the grapes to be 4K resolution. And imagine spending 400,000 polygons just to depict a piece of fruit.
Yep.
We won't have enough resources to
anything else.
render our characters on screen. But let me go into the details.
Oh! For the skin? They laughed.
みんなどう思うんだろう。
Huh? What? I want more detail in the hair though than the skin, to be honest. But I get what they're
これ
doing.
かと思ったって言ってる。
Some
I
people
want
say,
the
"Oh, is that
hair.
me?"
More detail in the hair.
そうそうそう。なんかさ、多分ね、これじゃないよね、多分みんな。
It's gonna end up like this. I think that's what he said.
I don't think this is what
The final.
we are looking for.
Yeah.
This is not what we would desire.
なんか疲れた
But
吉田
you
さん
see,
が
you see a little
People are
bit
saying
like the
this looks like a very
differences
tired Yoshida.
here.
そうなんか違うでしょ。
Yeah, but it kind of does feel awkward.
They will be
まあこ
this
こまでリ
realistic.
アルにはならん
Okay.
So
Okay.
we aren't going to be working to
Okay.
make it look this real.
Okay.
まあいわゆるフォトリ
Well,
アルを追
imagine
求していく
for
と
like the
グ
other
ラフィックスアップデートってこっちに行
races.
きがちなんですけど、おそらくファイナ
It
ルファ
would
ンタ
be
ジ
a
ー
bit
14の世界や
too
キャラクターを気
challenging.
に入ってくださってる方、多分こっちを求めてはいないと思ってます。
And some games, of course, they're intent is to lean towards that photorealistic depiction, and people tend to lean in this direction. But I think for those who enjoy the aesthetic of Final Fantasy XIV, this is not necessarily what we want to begin with.
では、今そのグラフィックスアップデートって実はテスト開発もスター
Are
ト
they
さ
gonna
せてるん
show
ですけ
us
ど
what they have in mind?
テストスタートしてからまだ1ヶ月と1週間ぐらいなんですね。
So with these graphical updates, we are already starting testing actually, and it's been about a month and a week.
Oh, so it's
なのでその
freshly new.
1ヶ月と1週間ぐらいテストをしてまあこれだったらもうまあ今出してもまあいけるだろうここまではとまあこれ以上を目指すんだけどまあ少なくとも一旦お見せしてもここまでは間違いなく大丈夫だよあると 7.0 でっていうのを用意してきたんでちょっと見ていきましょうか。
And
They're
so
gonna show
we are
us?
still very early in our testing stages, again about a month or so testing, but we do have results that we're seeing that is, of course, we're
Promising
going to
a
aim
little bit?
higher than what we're going to be showing you, but it's I think it's coming out pretty nicely, and
Okay.
we are relatively confident. So let us show you some of these images.
Yes, yes.
こちらがですねテスト期間1ヶ月
I
のサンプル
agree.
ですキャラクターですね。
Uh-huh.
So from
Okay, yeah.
this month of testing, so this is one of the samples.
No, I
左
agree.
が今で
It looks way more
右が
better.
テクスチャーをハイレゾリューション化してます。髪の毛も含めて。であとシェーダーを1枚入れてます。
Especially for the lights, too.
And so what you're seeing
It's
is the
more
current image
natural.
on the left, and then on the right, we've made the textures high resolution, and we've added a layer of shaders.
Wow, the eyes
あ
are
と
gonna look so good,
セルフシャ
especially
ドウ
for
って
the
言って
auras.
自分の
because
髪
of
の毛の
the
影が顔に
the
落ち
ring
た
cir-
時まあその自分
their
の
eyes.
オブジェクトが自分に
Oh, I'm
影を落とすのを
intrigued.
セルフシャドウって言うんですけどそこも調整してるので結構ねセルフシャドウ実はすごい気になっててカットシーンとか
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm really excited to see how it's gonna be
And,
like.
one thing that we did pay attention to was the self shadow, or
Yeah,
whenever
yeah, yeah,
there's,
yeah,
like, an object that drops the shadow on yourself.
Yes.
Especially if you look at the bangs and the shadow it casts underneath it. That was something that I was kind of I wanted to address looking at the cutscenes in the past.
でまあこれ1ヶ月目の
Especially
サンプル
like for
なので
hats. You see
もっと
like
上
hats
目指
or
せるとは思
helmet
ってる
that
んです
like
け
you
ど
instead of being the shadow
あまりにも
behind
重くならない
under it,
っていう
there's like
意味で
lights
は今一旦
coming from it, so it doesn't really make
まあこ
sense.
の上さらにいろんなことをや
I
った
wonder
上
if
で
they're
最
gonna
適化して
fix that.
いってまあやれるより高いところは目指していこうかなと思ってます。
So of course we do want to strive for even better, but at this time I think from 1 month of testing and making sure that the
But it's
the game
already
itself
a
runs
big
properly,
progress.
I think this is what we can show at this time, and then we'll continue to
The
test
eyes
and
are pretty.
continue
I
to
really
sort of
like the details of
improve,
the eyes.
and then apply optimization.
まあいわゆるヒロシと呼ばれてる彼でやるとこんな
The
感じです。
lips look so smooth.
First, our door planner.
でちょっとミコってのサンプルです。
Oh,
Here's
the
a
eyes
sample of the
are
Mikote.
まあ
better
戦
too.
月賞のボケ具合が、まあ
There-
なくなったりですね、髪の毛の柔らかいそのカールの印象とかってちゃんと
I feel like they
まあ
might
セルフ
do
シャドウがボケてないんでね綺麗に
better
描か
for
れ
the
てます
hair. It's
Of course, you may notice
Like the skin and the
face
eyes
paint, the war
looks
paint
nice,
is a lot crisper now.
yeah, but
And
the
then,
hair
as
is
mentioned earlier, self shadow is nicer. I think it's brings out the softness of her face.
まあこれがだいたい1ヶ月目だっていうのをぜひ認識しておいてください。
Again, just to
Oh,
remind you,
they
this is,
still
after testing
gonna
for
go
about a
with
month.
like the pores and everything for them. The hairline, they need to fix this a little bit.
まあこの方向性で良さそうよねやっぱりね、みんなのコメント見てると。
Especially for this
Looking
hairstyle,
at
it doesn't
everybody's
look
comments,
much
it seems like we
natural
are on the right track in terms
compared
of
to
like
like
the
how they
direction we
do
wanna
the
take
skin
it
and the
to.
eyes and everything.
そうですね。Yeah, it looked like
でララフェルがね一番難しいんですよ。
Understandable why they would
And
be
the Lalafell
difficult
was
for the
actually quite
Lalafell.
challenging.
Yeah.
なんかリアルにするところがなくて
There are no areas really to make it quote unquote realistic.
Especially for those, it looks the
まあで
lips,
も
they're
髪の毛綺
super
麗になっ
small.
て、目の周りはものすごく鮮明になって、まあ
The
キャラメルにして
ears
もね
look
もちろん
better.
いろんなパターン作れるとは思うんですけど。
But
The
I
eyes
think
though.
The hair has definitely gotten more defined, and then the eyes has
Yeah.
become very crisp, and it looks a lot more alive, so to speak. And with being able to character,
Especially the
create,
lighting
I
in
think
the eye.
it'll have like it will allow for players for a broad
Because you
range.
see, they only put like the white there,
そう
and
ね、
then
肌
it's
の
more
感じ
natural.
をどこまでその
depending where the light is.
なんだろう、本当にツルツルにするのかララフェルは、こう少しそうは言ってもちゃんと肌っていう感じを出すのかは、結構ね調整が難しいところだとは思ってるので、ただ皆さんが求めてるであろう方向性は理解してるつもりなので、しっかり種族ごとにですね調整しながらいきたいなと思って
They
ます。
need to change the hair though, because you see, like
And
it's too
It's still a
like
challenge to figure out how
squarish.
do we
they go like line
depict
by
the
line.
surface of their skin. Like, do we make it completely like flawless, spotless, or do we actually give it some texture to make it look like skin? We want to believe that we understand what the players are looking for, but it is
They need to be
something that we
realistic,
still
though.
need to kind of explore.
Yeah.
まあなんて言ったってね、11年も皆さんと一緒にこの
To
ゲーム
like
作ってきてるん
what
で、
would match
皆
better
さんが求める方向は理解してるつもりではあり
with the
ます。
ideas.
はい。
But again, we've been with you guys for about 11 years at this time, so we want to believe that we understand what the players are looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
ですいません、ちょっとテスト1ヶ月目ということでですね、キャラクターサンプルとしては以上になります。またなんだろう、
I know
途
it's
中
a
でね
meme, but
関節の
I'm
タイミングとか
wondering if they're
あれ
gonna
ば
like
また
add
途中
up
経過とかね
the
お知らせ
hats
していけたらなと
for
思ってます。
Viera.
So yeah, because we are still in the early stages of testing, as for character samples, that is all that we have at this time.
Yeah, that's
We're
good.
hoping that we can continue
That's
to update
much more than I
everybody
was
on the
expecting, to be
status.
honest.
Perhaps maybe next time we can do it at like a fan festival or something like that.
じゃあ改めてですね、
Nice.
そのキャラクター、まずそのグラフィックス第一次グラフィックスアップデートでキャラクターに関する表現のアップデート項目をお知らせしておきます。
Okay, so just wanted to recap all of the different elements that we look to update for our first set of graphical updates in terms of characters.
まずですね、
High
全体的にテクスチャーを高解像度にしていきます。
Gear,
髪とか肌とか、それから今日ちょっとねご紹介できてないですけど、
Yeah, please, the hair.
その辺のテクスチャーの解像度も上げていきます。
So first one,
The
would
line
be
to
higher
line for
resolution
hair, that
textures, which
it
includes
bugs me.
hair, skin, and we weren't able to show any examples today, but we do want to improve the textures of the gear as well.
でさらにですね、これはまあシェーダーと呼ばれる、処理になってくるんですけど、質感の表現というのを向上させていきます。例えば肌、それから装備品の金属部
By
分、
skin,
あと
they mean like
布って
leather for
布用のシェーダーっていうのが実はあって、
or not?
Q14 では入れてたんですけど、重すぎて外してるんですね。そろそろいけるだろうということで、
I'm excited
布
for
がも
that.
う少し滑らかに布を
It's
動
gonna
く
be
に入れ
very
てるシェー
pretty.
ダーなどを今、研究トライしているところです。
The other thing are the NPCs. I know we talked about updating the player characters and the graphics on
Yeah,
those,
but all the others,
I'm
yeah.
afraid we're not going to be able to address all of the NPCs by 7.0.
But I hope like the
まあ
main
申し訳
characters
ないんだ
though.
が、クオリティの高くなった NPC とまだなんて順番が回ってこない NPC っていうのが出てしまうと思うんですけど、ちょっとそれも許していただけると助
I
か
want
ります。
high quality boys. I
So
want
I'm terribly sorry to say this, but you may start seeing NPCs that have gone through the graphical updates and those
And
that
some
have
not.
not gone through
Yeah.
the updates. But please, your understanding would be appreciated.
これをね全部やれっていうと、
I just
いや
want
もう
like
じゃあグラフィックスアップデートやりましょう、
Graph,
無理だ無理ですって
PNG
な
and
っちゃうんで、
etc.
ちょっとちぐはぐっていうの
to
が
have
出ちゃう
it.
タイミングがあると
The
は思うんですけど、
science, they need to have their
それをや
upgrade.
っぱり承認していかないといつまで経ってもできないと思ってるので、ちょっと許していただけると。なのでちょっとイルベルダー
Like the characters that we will see A lot compared to others.
And if I were to tell my team that, okay, we need to do everything, then people are just going to throw in the towel and be like, no, this is impossible. So I'm afraid there will be times at which not all of the NPCs will have gone through their graphical updates, and it might look a little disoriented or disjointed. But if I don't allow for that to happen, we won't be able to get to it. So again, if you could forgive us for going through that, that would be appreciated. Like, your bird might not get his graphical update as quickly as maybe like the Sultana, but
テレジアデレジはっていうお声が結構ただですね、残念なんとテレジアデレジってプレイヤーのなんだろうキャラメイクで作られてるんで、僕らが手を下さずともあいつ勝手にクオリティ上がってしまう可能性が高い。
Some people are asking, oh, but what about Telegy and Adelegy? And I realize his expression is part of the parts that you can select when you're creating your character. So because we're updating the player character facial parts, Telegy Adelegy is going to have his graphical updates already. So he may be an exception to those NPCs.
Oh god.
まあというわけでプレイヤーベースで組まれているものはね必然的にそうなるんですけど、
What was I going to say? I
ナナ
forgot.
モさんとかはねやった方がいいかなとは思ってるんですけど、ちょっとまだ精査まではしきれてないので、ちょっとそういう状態が出るとは思うんですけ
I
ど。
wanted to bring up something, but I totally forgot.
So yeah, any characters that are built based on facial parts or body parts that are available
From
for
our
players
characters,
to utilize
They're
will
gonna be.
probably be updated simultaneously with like the player character graphics. But there are certain key NPCs that we're also looking at. Maybe the Sultana, but we have yet to sort of assess, and we will continue to sort of explore the options.
Well, like
でまあちょっと今
the
日お見
people
せ
in
したのは
Britannia, I forgot what the
繰り返しに
names
なり
are,
ますが
but
テスト
the
をスタートしてまだ1ヶ月ちょっとのデ
the
ータなので
siblings with the horns, like our tutor for white mage. I totally forgot their names, but
装備とかもねこんな感じになるよ
those
と
are
いうのもお見
the
せできればと
exception.
思ってます。
That doesn't fit with our
Yeah,
character
again, what we
creation.
showed you was only about a month or so of testing. So we're hoping to provide you with more updates as they come in. Perhaps the other races, perhaps we can provide you an update with gear, etc. in the not so far future.
Woo!
で
I'm excited.